runs low, the lights flicker bright. Microwave's got a mind tonight. The thermostat whispers in the dark.
Check.
Charging ports spark like a steel heart. The toaster's on, the kettle screams, the coffee maker's brewing skin. Maximum overdrive. They've come alive. Wires twist, machines won't thrive. Circuit snap, we won't survive. It's the rise of the high maximum overdrive. Vacuum's got vengeance in its roar. TV's no longer for keeping score. The washing machine's in a spin of rage. Blender sharp teeth escape the cage. The oven plots, the curtain shake. Every gadget wide awake.
Maximum overdrive! Look out.
They've come alive.
Oh, yes.
Wires twist, machines won't thrive. Circuit snap, we won't survive. It's the rise of the high maximum
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's HAL Sparks Mornings, Mega Worldwide. Friday Eye, our most contentious, noxious, controversial show. Simply because I am addressing head-on both the circumstance we find ourselves in, the technological advancement of artificial intelligence, some would call synthetic intelligence. Trump would call it superior intelligence, but that's true of everyone and everything around him, including houseplants. So yeah, I can understand where he would get that way. And then, of course, hello, chat room. I believe Rob Glenn is going to be joining us in just a moment. I am trying a new thing to get him into the guest position. Look out. And I hope it's working. I can only check and see. Oh, my overhead light's on this. So it's bad form. It really is bad form. Let's go to here. He should be in here in a second, and I'm hoping it works. Ah, there he is. I see him. And if I click on here, it says show on stream, and it says hide on stream now. Why would he be? Okay, this is why. Dink. Hey, look at that. It's very close up though, to like that. Now, the trick is, can I hear them? Let's see. I'll turn on this one, and then hopefully say hello, Rob. Can you hear me? Hello? Rob, can you hear me? Is it possible? Are we learning anything? Can you hear me? I can hear you. I can hear you. So, let's see. Oh, okay. I know. I've got it. I figured it out. I know this is all new, so excuse me 1 second. Settings and the microphone. Hold on. Yep, 1 second. The microphone source will be. I hear you just fine. Hold on. 2 cam and this thing, and then check that. It should be going there. I see it. I see the audio going correctly. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I'm working on it. I'm gonna try this then. I know, I know, I know. You're going to hear a loop back in 1 second. Now you can hear me, but it's going to loop for a second. So give me a second, and I'll see if I can, by re-clicking. Can you hear me now? Do you hear me now? Can you? Nope, that went away. Oh, okay. So, all right, that's good, I guess. I feel like... Okay, good. Well, then I also don't hear... there isn't a loop. There should be. That's what scares me. Let's go with it. I'm fine with it. And the audience can hear you, and I can hear you as a brand new thing. Okay, and then... No, that'll work on myself. This should be my own little thing. I know. That's right, yeah. With your lips that go brrr, bing, bing, bong, bing, bong, doodly bong, ding, ding, dong, ding. Let's roll this down. Hold on, and we move this down. There we go. Whoops, I'm moving it all around. There we go. That's a little better. Let go. I've got my little, the mouse is like hyper secure. It will not, oh, okay. That's probably good. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes there will be it will take a moment for it to get its shit together, as it were. Okay, give me 1 second and I will remedy that. It should just automatically do it, but then that's just me expecting too much from the world. I'm working on it. Yes, you absolutely are giving me a hard time, and I don't mind. It's completely reasonable. I deserve it. I'm trying to do a situation. I've had this issue for a while now, and you know this, with this kind of like buffering host issue, trying to get guests on the show, and I don't know what the issue. I don't know why that would be. So I'm trying to remedy that with whatever else I can possibly do. So we shall see what we shall see. But in the meantime, here we are, and this is how we shall be. And okay, hold on 1 second. Properties. Okay, and then monitor on. How about this? Hopefully, this doesn't do the thing that causes the backlash audio. Say hello.
Hello, hello.
Well, I think
check.
I think we may have solved it. Give me a second,
See.
but keep talking. Yep.
I'm waiting for chat to say they
That's right.
can hear me.
I love technology.
I want to see no conjunctions in the chat.
Right. That's right. Yeah. At the very least, if you're going to tell me it doesn't work, I want them to at least say cannot.
I saw somebody said success. We
good.
hear him now.
That's totally fine. Look at that. Okay, now let me fix this one. Hold on. And I think, do I have to do this every time? I guess so. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I know what it is. And I turn this guy on, boink, like that. And then I have to reshape you on this guy because it's going to be crazy too. This is my news window. I wish I could fix this before the show, which I can.
That's all right.
But only if you come on early, and I didn't want to do that to you. So
I was really late. I was also really late today.
That's all right. It happens. We're okay.
I had issues today myself.
I understand.
They weren't tech related. They were all physical
related. Gotcha. I get it. So I'm going to stretch this out a little bit and then shrink you down so that you look a little more presentable in here as well. Because we'll get to the news as we do it. Because I love all this stuff, and I have heard from a couple people. Bob Seska brought this up when I was speaking to him about AI, and the title of today's show is AI is Bubblicious, because on the one hand there has been this move. Shrink down. I don't want to carry it around, you jerk. Like I love how they're like wanting this to be so refined as a tool, but the grab tool just stays locked on it no matter what. That's fun. Okay, there we go. This is close enough. All right, this will do. And
Good
Rob
enough.
Glenn,
Good enough.
yes,
We got it.
good. Yeah, for the time being, this will work. This will be all right. And I don't care. So, first of
I
all,
don't care
welcome.
either.
Hi, always good to talk to you. I'm going to jump into this because I know where my brain is going with the current state of news as it is around AI and the like. And what
Okay.
I want from you is anything that's popped out to you first and foremost, because I will go off on this, and then we will not talk about just about anything else, which is
Okay.
the illusion, the bubble illusion situation.
Yeah.
And let's see, and I will work while I'm behind the scenes to rearrange my little picture so that it looks a little more presentable to me.
All
Um,
right.
but yeah,
We're all good.
yeah, I insist. So, what has been like the big AI news for you, either in your usage or your experience, or what you're seeing that annoys you in the news about it this week?
Um, I mean, all this week it's all in my usage because I would say that. Well, you know that I'm like I only use Chat GPT,
Right,
and it's not because I think it's the best or anything like that. It's because I just want consistency across the board. Like
right,
I don't want to be using five different things. I just want to use
yep,
one. And my it's not just good, it's good enough.
yes,
Thing is like all of them are good enough.
uh huh,
So in my chat gpt usage, they went quickly from 5.1 to 5.2,
mm-hmm.
and that's significant in the news because the only reason they jumped to 5.2 was because Gemini came out. google
Right.
gemini Google
The
Gemini came out.
the red alert moment,
And
apparently.
then,
Right.
yeah, they had the red alert moment, which it literally, like, these articles are all marketing. Like everything you see is
Yes.
marketing.
Exactly.
So Sam Altman sending an email to his employees is
Yeah.
is basically a press release. That's
Yes.
all it is. So whatever that meant, but 5.2 sucked for a little
Mm-hmm.
while because it was
Right.
just ungodly slow, right?
Yes.
And only until yesterday, or the day before, it started to speed back up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, why are you yelling? Am I yelling? Somebody's saying
I don't think. I
I'm
think you're
yelling.
talking at a reasonable level. It might just be that you're louder or whatever, but keep talking. You're fine.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm not
We're very
yelling. I'm
excited.
not trying to yell.
Yeah.
So the speed, my feeling is that 5.2 was sent out a little too early.
Right.
Um, and or so basically like and probably Gemini might have been too, like all of these things, because of the essence of what they are, they're
Mm-hmm.
literally just throwing it out in the world and seeing if it works.
Right.
Um,
The MVP concept
yeah,
that was made, famous with laptops and computer chips
yeah,
and phones, which is the minimum viable product. As soon as you get something that will work, that's the next phase forward, get it out there because the biggest focus group you have is users, and you can
yes,
always,
exactly.
mess with things as you go. Right.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, I honestly I like the it's better. I guess it's better, but it like, to me, the difference is not anything special. It's just continuing to evolve or
Right.
iterate to being slightly better each time. Um, and so, in terms of like performance, I don't see any. I just see like a normal progression. I see
Right.
a normal product normally progressing as it would. And the news ends up being sort of like just clickbait for trying to, like, maybe create some sort of browser style war between ChatGPT maybe and Google and whoever else
Mm-hmm.
is out there. Um, so usage wise, like, I don't know that my usage advances are because of advances in AI or just my better understanding of using it and
Right.
evolving with my use of it. And we can get into that if you want, but that starts to get into weeds.
Yeah.
In terms of like the news,
Mhm.
the news is such that like there was the AI the attempt to use a executive order to tell the states they can't regulate AI, which basically
Yeah.
is bullshit. Um, there's
Thanks,
effectively
Tom.
like what's that?
I was just saying thanks to one of our super chats. Keep
Oh,
talking. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, like like AI is just it's like a it's like a war of who can get the most chips, basically. Like
Right. Yes.
it's like that people are trying to hoard capital, trying to hoard resources
Right.
so that maybe they can be person the group that you come to utilize it.
Right.
And as we've talked, Oracle is way down because they're kind of, I guess, in terms of investors, they're not showing that they have the ability to get more GPUs or get more resources.
Right.
Like as Oracle, so it's like these promises that people tried to make, and those promises, those deals, like whatever they called them, they were all bullshit anyway.
Right.
So I've been sort of following the Oracle story, and the Oracle story is that they have this like quote unquote deal where they what was it, a month and a half ago, whatever it was, with OpenAI, and everybody was like, oh great, they're now the winners of this. And then they had a quarterly statement come out, and it basically showed that like 2/3 of their income was that one deal.
Yeah.
and it maybe since then they're not actually going to get the deal. So the whole thing is like it's just stupid corporate governance. Like you announce a thing
Yeah.
that gets everybody's expectations up, and then you have your quarterly report which basically shows you're full of shit.
Mhm.
And then it goes down, and so like all of it's marketing. It's
Right.
all
Well,
marketing.
okay. So
Oh,
we're
my
going to
light
talk.
just went out.
Oh, that's okay. That's the least of our worries. So, okay. I am big on one of the big reasons I'm so bullish on kind of robots is it is a real world example
Yeah.
of AI's advancement in people's physical experience. Software is fucking software is fucking software. And the TikTok of today is the Vine of yesterday. And anybody that comes along can make for the most part, if they can create a better app that people prefer, it's easy to get people to shift. The only thing impact is the idea of it being psychological. Well, that used to be harder when, say, Facebook basically had all your pictures stored on it, and you didn't have a cloud service with your iPhone or whatever that stored your pictures. You literally took a bunch of photos, and if you ran out of space, you had to erase them. So one of the only places you had cloud storage was on Facebook. This was or on MySpace early in the day. So if you shut down that account, suddenly where did my pictures go and how do I download them? And they would make it as hard as possible so that you couldn't do this because that was the only thing keeping you there. It was not the complexity of the software. It wasn't even the algorithm. It was just, oh shit, how do I do this? It's the single people in a relationship who live together and share a home versus married people. It's way easier to unwind the single relationship because one of you can just beat feet, but the married couple has to figure out how to sell a house and all that, and that keeps them together, through the thick and thin, better than just kind of a mutual agreement. And so they use the same thing. You're married, your data is married to one of these sites. Well, there's a little bit of that, like you using ChatGPT and getting used to the stuff and having it have your memory, storage in there, that will make people, I think, more aligned with a particular AI. That they go, oh, I use Gemini. It's hooked up to my email, and so that's the one I use the most, or I use it for work, and so I started using it privately, and I have a private account and a business account, and I like how its attitude. I like how I can shape it, and I like its functionality. And
Right.
that's how a lot of people are going to do it. In the same way, most people don't build their own kit cars. they buy one off the lot. And so they're counting on that part of it over the next little bit. But still, the issue is it's too easy to switch. Switching a car is very difficult. You have to return the old car and then finance a new one or whatever. But a piece of software is just one-to-one, off and on. That's it. And so that's what these models are always chasing. But when it comes to NVIDIA, which is the obvious winner in all of this conversations, and if there's a trust situation, a monopoly circumstance in any of this, it's very dangerously close to being NVIDIA, just because of the volume of because they've earned it, because they created a chip that worked, everybody liked it, they learned on that, and then they built an NPU as opposed to a GPU in their Blackwell chip that is just for AI, and they jumped in early, and everybody else, AMD, Microsoft, they were all slow. They were all just, Intel was like poo-pooing the idea. And the same thing to some degree with Apple, where they're like, we'll see. Well, by the time you get through the meeting about we'll see, the field has advanced 1,000-fold, and you are, the gap between you and them gets wider and wider and wider. So NVIDIA reported revenue for the third quarter of $57 billion, up 22% from the previous quarter and up 62% from a year ago. Their margins were 73 and 73.6, 73.4 and 73.6, respectively. For the quarter, GAAP and non-GAAP earnings per diluted share were both $1.30, which for the early big chunk adopters is a lot of revenue coming back to them. Revenue for quarter three expected is a leap forward on that as well. So they're looking to orders they have not filled yet. And that's the real physical world of AI. And that's where I would argue that there is a bubble brewing in the digital aspect of this, because each one will be trying to find their market share, and we'll get to sovereign AI and why that's really where these big models are going to make their money. And the reality is that who makes the chips? And this will even out over time too, because the normal chip that's available right now can run a model from 2 years ago, and the AIs from 2 years ago are still incredible based on 5 years ago. And so what you're capable of in a year and a half or 2 years on these crappy little models you could download on your phone is equal to or greater than what you will see in 2026. And God knows how fast that will wind up. That was the big DeepSeek freak out that everybody had, was that China built an AI using another AI. It took ChatGPT and trained its own model, basically to ask ChatGPT to create its own, China GPT. And it did. And it was shit, and it was censored, and it was limited, but because they wanted it that way. And the reality is that's a version of what you're going to see both with cities, organizations, like NGOs, like corporations and individuals. That sovereign AI is going to be will lead the offline revolution, which is one of the things that is, being bandied about, which is we're seeing social media, except for podcasts and live streams and stuff like this, starting to taper because of the divisiveness, because of how easy it is to fake, how you don't know who your groups are. Kids nowadays, the kids today, are using dumb phones, or if they are on a smartphone, they're using WhatsApp or Signal to talk to a group of friends or a school group. They are not branching out into the rest of the world to seek, friendships. Dating apps have taken a shit, because everybody, people are doing running groups and hiring matchmakers again, because it's a terrible way to meet people and it can be too easily faked. So the digital world is really going to go through the ringer this year. But the physical aspect of AI, like the physical aspect of the internet, fiber optic lines being laid and all that kind of stuff, which drastically changed life in America and in the rest of the world, the same thing is going to be true of these chip advances. NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, and ultimately Apple with their internal chips, they're going to loop up to this in the next 2 years, and we'll be bordering on like photonics or quantum chips in regular devices. Photonics, I would say, in regular devices, and then quantum chips in these giant servers. So these big Manhattan-size AI compounds aren't going to be for rows and rows of NVIDIA cards just running, regular electronic brain sets, but they're going to have to shift to photonics for the energy of it, or that's where the quantum computers are going to be housed. That what they're really building is the infrastructure for a quantum computer that will, on a smaller scale, run everything these giant things are running. That's my current bubble talk, is that the virtual is always in danger, like pets.com and the .com bubble, of going away in a fucking heartbeat. But when it physicalizes, the chips, the technology, the motherboards that house those chips, the peripherals that go with it, that's where people are making real money with real products that have a real impact in everybody's life. What say you?
So,
Rob Glenn, Root Design Chicago, go.
Yeah, I would agree with you in the sense that it's the physical to look at, not the hardware, not the software. Let's put it that way. So if you think about the hardware in this case, I think the reason why the AI bubble, so-called, is happening is because there's like the data centers are sort of dual use, or triple use, maybe is the right way to say it. So if you build out a data center with hardware, which currently NVIDIA is the king of creating making the hardware, and I would call locking down the hardware that you need to have. You have, maybe let's call it, three choices for a second. Choice one is this AI thing, which is sort of nebulous. Choice two is it can be a cloud infrastructure, which there's cloud infrastructure all over the place already, but you're just adding to it. And the third would be crypto. So this concept of, we need data centers to churn through the crypto, and there's possibly this crypto thing that might be in the future. The AI is a possibly in the future. The only thing that's actually known right now in terms of what it is and what it needs to be is the cloud infrastructure. And so the danger that NVIDIA has a lock on that, simply because there's no known path to what this is going to be. And I say that because their chips happen to be sort of general enough that they can do all three in some way, right? What could pop the hardware bubble is a paradigm shift in how you accomplish the calculations of doing all of this. Because the GPU is not a storage place; it's calculating it. It's not storing things, right? So what could pop their stranglehold on that industry is either either there's a paradigm shift in how you do it, or somebody else somehow like catches up to them in terms of infrastructure to create them, which there is no infrastructure right now. Like NVIDIA has all the infrastructure to create the chips. That's all there is to it. Somebody's gonna have to make a massive investment in their own infrastructure, because everybody kind of uses the same infrastructure right now in terms of creating the chip itself, the silicon. Now, the thing that keeps you from the paradigm shift is that you don't know what the future holds, right? If you knew exactly what this thing was and how to, like, there was a commoditization of the, you knew that there was going to be like a huge demand for calculating it in this certain way, then you could just go off and bank that infrastructure, and you could build that out, and you could beat NVIDIA at its game. But we don't know what that is yet. And so AI's problem is that it doesn't know what its future holds. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so when people look at this bubble in terms of like relating it to the .com era, I think that's the part that they're seeing, is that they're
Right.
like, a bunch of people got URLs, but they didn't know what the value of those URLs were going to be in the future, or if people would even use it. AI is different in the sense that, like, if you buy a whole bunch of NVIDIA chips and you build out a data center and AI busts, then you just use it as a cloud center or you use it as a crypto
Right.
center.